And when you were, I believe you were robbed, right, at gunpoint?
I
Did
was
you
robbed
have
at
your gun?
gunpoint. I did, and my alarm system that's supposed to ding when the door opens up was broken, and well, it was that the
Oh
battery
boy.
was out, so it would ding every 30 seconds. So I just thought it was just dinging so I didn't notice that somebody came in the front door. Normally, when I'm there, if the door's unlocked and I'm there on a weekend and I hear a ding, and I immediately yell out, "Identify yourself!" And if a person doesn't identify themselves, I mean, I've got a gun, and I'm ready to use it. And so,
have
you know,
Have you ever used it?
everybody now has a practice when they walk in my office on the weekend. The door's open. The first thing they yell is, "It's me! Don't shoot!"
You're right. You're right. You made the news with that, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Over there in but yes, that what could we do though? Like these people, James Holmes, this guy, the guy with the church. How do we get these guns away from these mentally ill people? I mean,
But
how does that work?
it's very, very difficult because, again, you know, even mentally ill people have some rights. Now, the problem
Right.
isn't so much with the guns; is with the mental health system today. I mean, they closed the insane asylums because they were cruel and inhumane. Okay, the problem was they didn't open anything else up. Okay, 60 Minutes did a great story on this, and you can Google it and watch it. But the new
Right.
insane asylums are the county jails and the prison system. But they threw most of the
Right.
mentally ill and insane people out on the street. They're the homeless. I mean, if you've got a mentally ill child or relative or sister or cousin, you can't get help for them. There is no help. There really isn't. I mean, you can get short-term commitments. You can get, most of the locked. There are very few lockdown psych wards where you can take somebody that's, I mean, if you think somebody's dangerous, you can get them committed for 72 hours. If you can get a doctor or a couple people to say that they're a danger to themselves or others, but then
Right.
then they get to walk out, and it's the gun registration, the waiting periods and all that stuff, there's just such huge flaws in it that it doesn't work. And I'm not much for a lot of gun restrictions, but we got to find a way to keep them out of the hands of the really crazy people, and I'm not sure how to do that, because you can't take guns away from everybody. Because if you tried to do
right,
that,
no, I agree with
I
that.
mean, when I was a kid, everybody had bumper stickers that says if you take the guns away from everybody, only outlaws will have guns. Because only the honest people are going to get.
Good point.
The good people will give law-abiding people. If you say guns are outlawed, well then the law-abiding people give their guns up, and then the only people that are going to have guns are the non-law-abiding people.
But what about
that's a scary proposition.
Right. You in New York, where I am here, like the football player Plaxico Burress, he shot himself and he did 2 years flat in New York City, and we all have breaking points, and I'm sure we all could get into fights with our siblings and everything, and we don't want to have maybe a gun in the house, because I think there comes a point where everybody will probably be in a situation where they wish they hadn't done that. Now, if you don't, there are a lot of people that could control that, but there are times, I'm sure, you dealt with this, but, depression, whatever, without being sick, that just having that gun in the apartment, don't you think might add to some depth, shouldn't be?
Well, maybe, but number one with Plaxico Burress, if you got a gun in your sweatpants and it goes off and you shoot yourself, you should go to prison for 2 years. Okay, I mean, number one, it's just that should just be a given. You should just get that, and not for the gun, just for not being very smart. Okay, but like I said, I grew up where everybody's got guns. Everybody's got guns. You don't. There are very few houses you go to where people don't have guns, and people aren't getting shot because, again, people have an understanding and a respect for the guns and are taught that from an early age. Okay, but when you got a culture where guns aren't allowed, so young people, kids aren't taught about what guns are and how they work and the destruction that they can cause and that they kill. Okay, and it's real to them. Okay, when they're not taught those lessons at an early age, then later in life, it looks cool to pull a gun out and wave it around and start shooting. Okay, and most of the crimes that I see with guns, I would say 90% of them have to do with drugs and alcohol, and not drug dealing and alcohol. It's a category of crime I call drunk and stupid. I mean, there's a lot of drunk and stupid. I mean, that, and again, that just has to do with, with people, again, not understanding and respecting. I've been drunk and stupid. I mean, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I spent the first 30 years of my life drunk and stupid. I didn't shoot anybody.
Right. Never had any temptations or anything, just in the back of your mind, like the thought of it while you were drunk? Wow.
No, I mean, and most of my friends haven't either. I mean, like I said, I grew up with people. We partied hard when we were young. We all had guns in our car. Everybody had a gun in their car. When you pull in the high school parking lot, okay, everybody had pickup trucks with Indian blanket seat blanket covers that had a rifle scabbard in the front, or they had a shotgun in the rifle rack, at the school. I mean, nobody pulled their gun out and shot at people.
Wow, that's interesting. And
you'd go out coyote hunting before school, and get up at 4:00 in the morning, go out in the woods, and driving around in your truck, got your rifle. Nobody, always had a shotgun and a fishing pole.
What's the strongest gun you ever used?
I shot a 300 H&H Magnum.
Wow.
It's like an elephant gun. That thing will sit you down.
Yeah, I think that will definitely do a lot of damage.